First contact and looming threat. The year was 2189. Humanity had expanded throughout the solar system, with colonies on Mars, mining operations around Jupiter, and research stations orbiting Saturn. Earth remained the heart of human civilization, but the species had taken its first tentative steps into the cosmic ocean. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the observation deck of the Earth Commonwealth ship Horizon, watching the stars. At 43, she had the weathered look of someone who had spent most of her life in space. Her dark hair was cut military short, with streaks of silver that matched the Commonwealth insignia on her uniform. 20 years of service had earned her command of humanity's most advanced long-range vessel. "Captain," called Lieutenant Jiang Wei over the comm, "we're detecting an anomalous energy signature at the edge of the Kuiper Belt." "Classification?" Reyes asked, already moving toward the bridge. "Unknown, ma'am. Nothing like this in our database." When Reyes reached the bridge, the crew was already at action stations. The main view screen showed only the darkness of space, punctuated by distant stars. "Magnify Sector 7, Reyes ordered. The image zoomed in, and collective gasps filled the bridge. Against the blackness drifted a massive vessel, unlike anything humans had built. Its design defied conventional engineering, with smooth organic curves interspersed with crystalline structures that seemed to pulse with inner light. Most alarming were the massive ruptures along its hull, evidence of devastating weapons fire. "Life signs?" Reyes asked Science Officer Dr. Aisha Okafor. Okafor's fingers danced across her console. "Confirmed, Captain. Multiple signatures, but they're weak and fading. Their life support appears to be failing." For a moment, Reyes considered protocol. First contact was supposed to happen under carefully controlled circumstances, with diplomats and xenolinguists present. Not like this, not with a damaged ship and dying aliens. "Yellow alert. Prepare medical and first contact teams," she decided. "We're mounting a rescue operation." Her XO, Commander David Chen, stepped closer. "Captain, regulations state we should maintain distance from unknown vessels and request instructions from Earth Command." "I know the regulations, Commander," Reyes replied quietly. "But there are lives at stake. We can't sit here and watch them die while waiting for orders that would take hours to arrive." Within 30 minutes, the Horizon had maneuvered alongside the alien vessel. Reyes led the main boarding team herself. The interior of the ship was bathed in dim emergency lighting, with strange symbols flashing on walls and consoles. The artificial gravity fluctuated, making movement difficult. They found the survivors in what appeared to be the command center. 5 different alien species, all injured to varying degrees. Their appearances ranged from nearly human to utterly foreign. One resembled a tall insectoid with 6 limbs. Another looked like a humanoid with iridescent scales instead of skin. "Medical team. Priority 1. Reyes called into her communicator. "Multiple injured." As the medical team rushed forward, a tall being with silver skin that seemed to ripple like liquid metal approached Reyes. It wore a device around its neck that glowed when it spoke. "You. Help us." The translation was crude but understandable. "Yes," Reyes replied simply. "We detected your vessel." The alien's multifaceted eyes widened. "Impossible. Our distress beacon, not compatible with your technology." "Nevertheless, we found you," Reyes said. "What happened?" "Attack. The Vorax. They always attack." Within hours, the survivors had been transferred to the Horizon's medical bay. Dr. Laila Patel worked tirelessly with her team to treat injuries they had never seen before on physiologies they barely understood. The silver-skinned alien, who called itself Talon, recovered enough to speak with Reyes in the ship's conference room. The translation device worked better now that the Horizon's computers had analyzed its language. "We are the Galactic Concordat," Talon explained. "An alliance of 327 spacefaring civilizations. We maintain peace and share knowledge across 20% of the galaxy." "And the Vorax?" Reyes asked. "Predators," Talon replied, a shudder passing through its metallic skin. They consume everything in their path: resources, technology, even other sentient species. They do not negotiate or trade. They take what they want and destroy what remains. Rise listened carefully as Talon explained how the Concordat had been fighting the Vorax for decades, trying to contain their expansion. Our ship was on a diplomatic mission when we were ambushed, Talon said. We did not expect Vorax in this sector. They usually avoid it. Why would they avoid our solar system? Rise asked. Talon hesitated before answering. Because of you, humans. The revelation stunned Rise. You knew about us. Your world has been known to the Concordat for centuries, Talon explained. We have observed your development since your industrial revolution. And you never made contact, never offered assistance. Rise couldn't keep the accusation from her voice. Contact was forbidden, Talon said simply, by unanimous vote of the Concordat Council. Why? Because the Concordat fears what humanity might become, Talon answered. Your species evolves and adapts faster than any we have encountered. Your technological development in the past 2 centuries alone has been concerning. Rise tried to process this information. Aliens have been watching Earth for centuries, deliberately keeping humans isolated from the wider galactic community. Before she could ask more questions, Dr. Petal rushed into the conference room. Captain, the being with the crystalline exoskeleton is conscious and asking for you. Says it's urgent. In the medical bay, the crystalline alien was propped up on a bed, various medical devices attached to its body. Light pulsed through its transparent sections in complex patterns. Human captain, it said through the translator. I am Vex, senior diplomat of the Concordat Council. Rest, diplomat, Ray said. You're badly injured. No time, Vex insisted. The Vorax attack was not random. They came seeking information about this sector, about Earth. Talon, who had followed Rise, made a sound of alarm. You're certain? Vex's crystalline body pulsed with dark red light. They were interrogating us when your ship arrived. They now know we have made contact with humans. They will come to this system. They will come to destroy Earth. Why would they target us? Rise demanded. We've never even left our solar system. Because, Vex replied, they see what the Concordat has long feared, your potential. And unlike the Concordat, the Vorax do not observe threats. They eliminate them. 2 weeks after the rescue, the Horizon orbited Earth, carrying news that humanity was not alone in the universe and that a dangerous enemy was now aware of Earth's existence. The world's governments reacted with a mixture of shock, fear, and determination. The United Earth Council established a secure facility in the Antarctic where the surviving Concordat representatives could recover, while Earth prepared for what might come. Scientists and engineers worked frantically with the aliens to understand their technology and adapt it for Earth's defense. Captain Rice stood before the council, giving her report. The room was filled with the most powerful people on the planet, all united by a common fear. According to our alien allies, the Vorax will send. Over the next 3 months, humanity prepared for war. Every shipyard in the solar system worked around the clock, retrofitting vessels with adapted alien technology. The Concordat survivors shared everything they knew about Vorax tactics and weaknesses. Most importantly, human scientists and engineers studied the alien technology with remarkable speed, not just copying it, but improving upon it in ways that surprised even the Concordat representatives. Your people learn at an astonishing rate, Talon told Reyes as they toured a facility where engineers were modifying Earth's defense satellites. It would take a Concordat species decades to understand and adapt technology from another civilization. Humans have done it in weeks. Necessity is the mother of invention, Rise replied with a grim smile, and nothing focuses the mind quite like extinction. As the deadline approached, humanity waited. Every available ship had been armed and positioned throughout the solar system. Earth's orbital defenses had been strengthened. The colonies on Mars and the moons of Jupiter had been evacuated. Captain Rice now commanded the ECS Defiant, Earth's newest and most powerful warship. Originally designed as an exploration vessel, it had been rapidly converted for war using Concordat technology combined with human innovation. Talon and Vex stood with her on the bridge as they monitored the long-range sensors that the Concordat had helped upgrade. "They're coming," said Lieutenant Wei, looking up from his station. Multiple signatures entering the solar system near Neptune's orbit. The Vorax had arrived. The battle for Earth and humanity's ingenuity. The Vorax fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. 63 massive vessels that resembled predatory deep-sea creatures from Earth's oceans. They moved in perfect formation, scanning everything in their path. Captain Alina Reyes stood on the bridge of the ECS Defiant, studying the tactical display. Earth's combined defense forces were arrayed throughout the solar system, a mixture of hastily converted civilian vessels and military ships equipped with adapted Concordat technology. "Status report," Reyes said, her voice steady despite the tension. "All ships in position," replied Lieutenant Wei. "Mars Defense Fleet reports ready. Jupiter outposts standing by." Admiral Jackson, commander of Earth's Atlantic Fleet, appeared on the main screen. "My ships are in position, Captain. The modifications to our weapon systems are complete." Reyes nodded. "Remember, Admiral, we need to be unpredictable. The Vorax have fought the Concordat for decades. They know standard tactics. They don't expect us to have any Concordat tech," Jackson replied with a thin smile. "And they certainly don't expect how we've modified it. My engineers combine their gravitational weaponry with our nuclear warheads. The result is interesting." Talon, who had insisted on remaining aboard the Defiant as an advisor, looked concerned. "Your modifications are untested. They could be dangerous to your own ships. That's why we're spacing the fleet widely," Reyes explained. "If one weapon malfunctions, it won't take out multiple ships." Throughout the solar system, humanity waited. The Vorax advanced slowly, methodically, their formation perfect. Too perfect, Reyes thought. They'd move like machines following a program. "They're scanning us," reported Science Officer Dr. Okafor. "Their ships are powering weapon systems." Reyes straightened her uniform. "All ships maintain position. Let them come to us." The Vorax continued their advance, seemingly unconcerned by Earth's defenses. When they reached the orbit of Uranus, their formation split into 3 groups, the largest continuing directly toward Earth, while the others moved to flank the human defenders. "They're using standard Concordat war tactics," Vex observed, his crystalline body pulsing with concerned light patterns. "They expect us to respond like the Concordat would." A smile touched Reyes' lips. "Then let's disappoint them. Signal all ships. Execute Operation Trojan Horse." Throughout the solar system, Earth's ships began to power down, appearing to go dormant. At the same time, the orbital platforms around Jupiter suddenly emitted massive energy signatures, mimicking the power output of a Concordat battle fleet. The Vorax responded immediately, the bulk of their fleet changing course toward Jupiter, toward what appeared to be the greatest threat. "They're taking the bait," Wei reported. 47 vessels diverted to Jupiter. "Now comes the dangerous part," Reyes said quietly. She opened a channel to all Earth vessels. "All ships, execute Phase 2. The mining stations around Saturn's rings, which had appeared abandoned, suddenly activated massive electromagnetic pulse generators, technology adapted from both human and Concordat designs, but modified by Earth engineers to operate at 10 times normal power. The massive EMP wave swept through space, washing over the Vorax fleet. Their perfect formation faltered as ship after ship experienced system failures. "It worked," Dr. Okafor exclaimed. "Their shields are fluctuating. Communication systems disrupted. All ships, attack pattern Delta," Reyes ordered. "Target their propulsion systems first, weapons second." Earth's vessels powered up and launched their assault. Unlike the Concordat's standard tactics of frontal engagement, humanity's ships attacked from all directions in seemingly random patterns, making it impossible for the Vorax to form an effective defense. The modified weapons performed better than anyone had hoped. Gravitational warheads created localized distortions that tore through Vorax hulls, while adapted laser arrays cut through their weakened shields. Yet the Vorax were not easily defeated. As they recovered from the initial shock, they began to adapt, their ships maneuvering to protect one another. Their return fire destroyed 7 Earth vessels in rapid succession. "They're learning our patterns," Y warned. "Then let's give them something new to learn," Rise replied. "Signal the Mars fleet. Execute Operation Sandstorm." The fleet stationed around Mars launched hundreds of small drones, originally designed for mining operations, but now carrying payloads of specialized nanomaterials developed using concepts from Concordat technology. The drones swarmed around the Vorax vessels, releasing clouds of particles that adhered to their hulls and began to interfere with their sensor systems. "Blind the predator, and it cannot hunt," Vex commented, his crystalline structure glowing with approval. For the next 6 hours, the battle raged throughout the solar system. Earth suffered heavy losses, 29 ships destroyed, thousands of lives lost. But the Vorax losses were greater. Unaccustomed to fighting an enemy that used unpredictable tactics and modified technology, they struggled to counter humanity's innovations. The turning point came when Admiral Jackson's fleet executed a daring maneuver. Instead of avoiding a damaged Vorax dreadnought, they deliberately collided 3 unmanned cargo ships with it, each loaded with a combination of nuclear warheads and gravitational disruptors. The resulting explosion created a temporary singularity that consumed the dreadnought and 2 nearby Vorax vessels before collapsing in on itself. "Signal from the Vorax fleet," Way announced suddenly. "They're retreating." The bridge crew watched in stunned silence as the remaining Vorax vessels disengage, gathering into a defensive formation before accelerating away from Earth. "They're leaving the solar system," Okafor confirmed, disbelief in her voice. Talon turned to Reyes, the silver skin of its face rippling with what she had learned to recognize as shock. "This is unprecedented. The Vorax do not retreat. Perhaps they've never faced humans before," Reyes replied. The aftermath of the battle brought both grief and pride. Memorial services were held for those lost in humanity's first interstellar war. But there was also celebration. Earth had faced an enemy with superior technology and centuries of battle experience, and humanity had prevailed. 3 months later, the Concordat battle fleet finally arrived, expecting to find Earth conquered or destroyed. Instead, they found humans salvaging Vorax technology and already designing improved versions of their own defenses. The Concordat Council convened an emergency session to discuss Earth's unexpected victory. The decision was unanimous. The prohibition against contact with humanity was formally revoked. Earth would be invited to join the Concordat as a full member. In the council chambers on the Concordat capital world, Captain Rice stood before representatives of hundreds of alien species. Beside her stood Talon and Vex, now ambassadors to Earth. "The Vorax have avoided this sector since their defeat," the council leader announced. "They fear what they encountered here. They fear humanity. Not just our weapons," Rice clarified. "Our adaptability. We took your technology and theirs, combined it with our own in ways neither of you imagined possible. This is precisely why the Concordat feared humanity," one council member objected. "Your species develops and adapts too quickly. You are unpredictable." "Yes," Rise acknowledged, "and that unpredictability just saved us all. The Vorax have never retreated before, yet they fled from us. Perhaps what the Concordat has feared is exactly what it needs." The council chambers fell silent as the representatives considered her words. Finally, the council leader spoke. "Captain Rice speaks truth. For too long, the Concordat has fought the Vorax to a stalemate, following the same tactics, using the same technologies. Perhaps what we need is human innovation." One by one, the council members signaled their agreement. A new era had begun, one where humanity would take its place among the stars, not as a junior partner, but as equals, bringing their unique perspective and ingenuity to the galaxy. As Reyes left the chamber, Vex approached her. "You have changed everything, Captain. The galaxy will never be the same." Reyes smiled. "That's what humans do, Vex. We change things, sometimes for the better." She looked out at the alien city sprawling around the council building, with its impossible architecture and beings of all descriptions moving through its streets. "The Vorax thought they were hunting us," she said quietly. "They didn't realize they were introducing a new predator to the galactic ecosystem, one that doesn't hunt for food or territory, but for knowledge." Vex's crystalline body pulsed with thoughtful light. "And what will humanity hunt for next?" Reyes turned her gaze to the stars visible through the transparent ceiling. "Everything. We want to know everything." On that day, the galaxy learned what the Vorax had discovered at great cost. Humanity was not just another species to be conquered or contained. They were a force that could shatter stars and reshape the cosmos. The day humanity ascended had arrived, and the universe would never be the same.